Hello everyone and welcome to Eorzea Armoire, a series about the background of some of Heidelberg's more epic and dense weapons, armor, and artifacts. We'll be investigating the lore of these items both within Final Fantasy XIV and the Final Fantasy franchise in general, as well as the amazing and sometimes obscure real-world people, events, and artifacts upon which they are based. A gate of death. And from the entrance of the house, she sets out towards Sheol. None of those who enter there will ever return, and all who possess her will descend to the pit. It is almost in casual passing that Jalzahn refers to the Zodiac brave that slew Lilith and claimed her rod, and he refers to her as a formidable void-sent queen, but I'm not sure he appreciates the magnitude of such a victory. Lilith has become one of the more common icons of modern fantasy and horror, due in no small part to a reference made by Mephisto in Goethe's 1808 Faust that would have before this time been an extremely esoteric allusion. Adam's wife is first. Beware of her. Her beauty's one boast is her dangerous hair. When Lilith winds it tight around young men, she doesn't let go of them again. It was these few lines that inspired many modern artists, but for us to appreciate this creature we must look a little further. The oldest account of this origin of Lilith as the first wife of Adam comes from the Alphabet of Sirach, a partially satirical text based on the ancient Ecclesiasticus, which is accepted as canonical by the Catholic Church and most Orthodox Christians, but not interestingly accepted as Jewish canon. So from the fifth story that Ben Sirah tells the king Nebuchadnezzar. When God created Adam, who was alone, he said, "It is not good for man to be alone." He also created a woman from the earth, as he had created Adam himself, and called her Lilith. Adam and Lilith immediately began to fight. She said, "I will not lie below," and he said, "I will not lie beneath you, but only on top, for you are fit only to be in the bottom position, while I am to be the superior one." Lilith responded, "We are equal to each other inasmuch as we were both created from the earth." But they would not listen to one another. When Lilith saw this, she pronounced the ineffable name and flew away into the air. Adam stood in prayer before his creator. "Sovereign of the universe," he said, "the woman you gave me has run away." At once, the Holy One, blessed be he, sent these three angels to bring her back. Said the Holy One to Adam, "If she agrees to come back, what is made is good. If not, she must permit 100 of her children to die every day." The angels left God and pursued Lilith, whom they overtook in the midst of the sea, in the mighty waters wherein the Egyptians were destined to drown. They told her God's words, but she did not wish to return. The angels said, "We shall drown you in the sea." "Leave me," she said. "I was created only to cause sickness to infants. If the infant is male, I have dominion over him for 8 days after his birth, and if female, for 20 days. When the angels heard Lilith's words, they insisted she go back, but she swore to them by the name of the living and eternal God. "Whenever I see you or your names or your forms in an amulet, I will have no power over that infant." She also agreed to have 100 of her children die every day. Accordingly, every day 100 demons perish, and for the same reason, we write the angels' names on the amulets of young children. When Lilith sees these names, she remembers her oath, and the child recovers. So here we have the genesis of the myths that take Lilith to be the mother to Satan's legions, perpetually procreating and birthing demons in their thousands, wife to Asmodeus, the first demoness, the first succubus, the first witch, the first vampire, the first evil that was split from the left side of the clay and defined womanhood whilst Adam was concurrently molded from the virtue of the right side. It was subsequent that medieval myths produced and perpetuated Lilith as the eternal and terrifying source and archetype of black magic. She has been since conflated with the similar figures of the Greek Lamia, the seducer of Zeus, drinker of blood, eater of children, and mother to Scylla, and the night spirit Ki-Sikil-Lilake from the Mesopotamian Epic of Gilgamesh. The Lilith that many of us know is a fair representation. She is the primary antagonist of Wings of the Goddess, coming from an alternate timeline of Vana'diel in which the Shadow Lord was never defeated, and she has a demonic and vampiric visage consistent with her cultural image. Another notable contemporary representation of Lilith would be that from the Diablo franchise, where she is the daughter of Mephisto and a rogue demon that, along with the angel Inarius, created Sanctuary and gave birth to the first Nephilim. So if Final Fantasy XIV's Lilith is consistent with her namesake and representative trends, she must have been or be a monstrous thing, equivalent or even superior to the Cloud of Darkness. This staff, which she was grasping as she fell to the Zodiac Brave, already of incredible power, would have been flooded with the ether of her breaking form, and I can hardly think of a greater weapon for the Black Mage than the rod of the mythic mother of witches and demons, soaked in the blood of this matriarch herself. As per usual, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. Leave your thoughts or requests below, like and sub if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, check out the rest of my channel for Eorzean lore and analysis aplenty, but until next time, I'm Ethys, and this is Eorzea Armoire.